My early memories with Derby, like obviously many years ago now, but it was incredible. The whole week leading up to him was all everybody thought about. When you came out of the training ground and there was people standing, they wanted to know what was going on, there'd be any tickets, everything else. Is it the same now for you?
It is. It really is. You know, as an American, we have local rivalries, but you can imagine they're still 100 miles apart. You know, the two teams. And the exciting thing for me in playing in so many derbies now is encouraging like my family members and my friends to come over, because I tell them you have to experience the Merseyside derby. You have to, because there's nothing else like it. Certainly in American sports, and it's just that fever pitch, that buzz around the city. It's something special, and you look forward to it. And you never know what can happen in a derby, as you can probably attest to. But it's always exciting to feel like you're going to be a part of something special.
Yeah, I always remember it. I always, all of a sudden, got new cousins, new uncles and aunts who needed tickets, you know, on the run up, you know, such and such. Oh, I remember you, your aunt such and such, and your uncle this. The demand, and I think the passion for me is still here. You know, you look at derbies and maybe it's been watered down a little bit, but I think with the two clubs doing so well, or doing reasonably well this season, I think just adds a little extra spice, doesn't it? You know, everybody wants to get one better than their rivals, and hopefully that'll be the case for us.
Yeah, I think this season, more than anything that I can remember, depending on how results go this weekend, both teams can be right up there, you know, and so you talk about local pride being at stake. It's going to be more than that. So two teams that play in a similar fashion, two managers that have a very similar belief in the right way to play the game. So I think at the end of the day, though, it'll be spicy. You know, it has to be. I don't think you can have a derby that's not.
No, as I say, again, going back in our day, it was like blood and guts and everything. Make sure you win the first tackle, and make sure you compete all the time. Wales, I agree, it'll be the same, but maybe not as much because of the way the referees are now. I think, you know, they were lenient in our time. You know, you're allowed to tackle. Nowadays, it's important that we keep 11 men on the pitch, have a strong referee. But do you prepare during the week any differently? If it was, say, Manchester United the weekend, do you prepare any way differently if it, again, when the Liverpool come round?
No, I don't think so. I think at the end of the day, you have to realize it's a big game. You know, no matter what, whether it's Manchester United or Liverpool, it's still it's a big, massive game that has to be played the right way, and we prepare very similarly in the same vein. But I think what probably ends up happening on Derby week is some of the older senior players, certainly the Liverpool-born players, will be in the ear of some of the foreign boys and letting them know, hey, this isn't just your average game. So. I imagine it's the same on the other side as well.
Can you remember your first one?
Yep, I can. Yeah, and I don't think it was a very good introduction into the derby, because we won 3-0 at home.
Yeah, was that AJ's?
When AJ scores, and I think that was a pretty easy game, smooth sailing. And boy, was I surprised afterwards. You know, it's not that easy. It's not. No. It's never as cut and dry as 3-0. So. Yeah, it was a good start, but I was pleasantly surprised.
It's always good. Always the case. Always good when you win, but horrible when you lose. It was a case that everybody used to tell you that they couldn't go to work on a Monday morning. Must be the same feeling with the lads, because it was in our time. If we lost a derby, it was a case I made sure you got straight home. You weren't to be seen out and about, kind of thing. That was how, because people took it that serious. Still the same nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, as you can appreciate it, I think. You know, when you're on the losing end of a derby, you don't want to walk up the pitch. You want the game to keep going, because you think this can't possibly be the case, and it hurts you. It hits you in the gut, and it's not like any other loss. It really does hurt. It pains you, you know. And for a few days afterwards, it's not easy to get up out of bed, because it's a difficult one. Conversely, if you win the derby, you're floating on air, and all seems right with the world. So.
Coming into this one, I think the talk, we've started the season reasonably well, as have Liverpool, as you alluded to there, but Suarez and Sturridge, got to be the danger for them, the lively. Yeah. Any special plans?
No, I think the manager always seems to put a really good game plan in place every week, focusing on what we have, but also looking at other teams' threats, and certainly Suarez and Sturridge have been really good form this year. But I also think we need to stop the source too, you
Mhm.
know, and that's been a big point for us throughout the season. So we know what they're about. We know what they're capable of. I think particularly our senior members of the team have played
Mhm.
against
Yeah.
this Liverpool side quite a number of times, and so you know what to expect. It doesn't make it easier,
Mhm.
but we know what to
Mhm.
expect, and so you know we're going to look for their big players and our big players to match up, and hopefully, you know, when we stand toe to toe, we'll come out on top. But still a difficult nut to crack because they're bang on form right now.
On the opposition, Tim, it's a debut for Simo Mignolet. He'll have been used to it before. Sunderland, Newcastle, we talk about derbies, you know, Rangers, Celtic, whatever, Manchester United, Man City you've been involved in.
Sure.
How will he cope with this one?
You know, I'm a fan of goalkeepers, you know, and the art of goalkeeping, and I've always liked how he performs. You know, don't care how he performs on derby day, but I like how he seems to be a strong character. You know, been able to handle the ups and downs, which is important to be a top goalkeeper. He's played really well for them this season, and come in, hit the ground running. You know, so that's obviously important when you come to a new club. But yeah, he's been in derbies before, up in Sunderland, Newcastle derby. But I think this is slightly different. You know, I'd like to think that this will be an eye-opening experience for him, particularly being your first one. So we'll see. We'll see how he reacts. But I think he's a top goalkeeper. He's been great for him this season.
Yeah, and talking about first derbies, obviously the manager's first taste of a Merseyside derby. Obviously, he's probably been to ones before as a spectator, but he will feel the heat going into this one. I think he'll be looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I think he'll be looking forward to. Obviously, if he wins, he'll be a hero, and that's what we're all hoping for. He's not one to show nerves, is he?
I was going to say he might feel the heat, but he's got ice water in his hands. He doesn't, you know, he doesn't blink in the face of pressure, and he just, you know, he's easygoing. Never let you show that he's concerned or that there's an issue. So I think he'll stand up on that touchline and embrace it like he always does, and he'll be himself, and that's what's most important in a derby.
Yeah. Okay, here's hoping, mate. Thank you very much.